Well, today is Juneteenth, a day for the nation to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. Congress passed legislation in 2021 to make June 19th a federal holiday, but the day has held significance for more than a century now. In 1865, after the Civil War, and 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, word finally traveled to the last enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, that they were free. The war had already been over for weeks, but news was slow moving. Juneteenth is now recognized as a holiday in all 50 states. And it was a long journey to get the Juneteenth holiday on federal, state, and city calendars. Here in Chicago, the movement started in 2019 as activists and community organizers came together. Joining us now live this morning to talk about that history and the work to make Juneteenth a holiday are Tammy Johnson, co-chair of the Chicago Juneteenth Planning Coalition, and Lucretia Burtz, a founder of the Black Remembrance Project, which was instrumental in getting Juneteenth recognized in Chicago. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
And happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
As well. Tell us about the work that went into getting Juneteenth to be a paid holiday here in Chicago.
Okay, so in 2019, the Black Remembrance Project launched a campaign to have the city officially recognize it. This is because 2019 was a historical year. It was the 400-year anniversary of Black enslaved people coming forcibly here to the United States. So we launched that campaign and we asked Alder folks to join us in supporting the legislation, and Alderwoman Maria Haddon championed that legislation. And from there, we advocated, and we thought it would be an easy fight, but it actually took some nudging. We gathered petitions, and I think it was about 5,000 petition signatures. And we also coordinated some events trying to push to get the holiday recognized.
And did the unrest of that summer of 2020 expedite that, or how much did that influence that? Either one of you can answer.
I definitely think so. The George Floyd protests of 2020, I think, left a lot of people unsettled, and it reminded folks that there was still a lot of racial tension, a lot of injustice. But again, I think that 2019 year, being the 400-year anniversary of descendants of slavery, that was still monumental of itself. I think in 2019 was also the first hearing around reparations with the HR 40 legislation in Congress. It was also the launch of the 1619 Project. But yes, after 2019, 2020, the George Floyd protests, I think also, escalated things and just brought more attention to the day as well.
And Tammy, following up on that, earlier this week we heard Mayor Brandon Johnson announce a reparations task force being created in the city of Chicago. Now that Juneteenth is a holiday and you've accomplished that goal, what type of work is the Planning Coalition doing now, or expanding to other things to bring attention to civil rights, human rights, and things along that line?
Well, we will still, as the Chicago Juneteenth Planning Coalition, continue to commemorate and collaborate and celebrate the events that are held throughout the city. We connect with the Juneteenth organizers in all of the different communities, and we support their events and we promote their events, and are just focused on keeping the holiday alive and growing in Chicagoland.
And with that, what message do you want to send to our viewers as we mark Juneteenth today, those who may not be as educated on its origins and why it's so important?
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Well, it's important that at the events, it's stressed why you're there. It's not just a party. That is important to celebrate, because there was a lot of work that went into having these things happen. However, but it's just more important, I would say, to make sure that the attendees at your events know why they're there and why the holiday is so significant.
So just not the barbecue and the celebrate, we want to understand why we're there, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Well, and currently, we're working on a scholarship program. We're fundraising for that now. We're accepting donations in case someone is willing to give or their organization is willing to give. They can donate at the website at shyjuneteenth.org. That's CHIJUNETEENTH.org, and on the Facebook page, Shy Juneteenth Coalition.
All right, thanks so much, Tammy Johnson and Lucretia Burtz, for being with us as we celebrate this Juneteenth. And thank you for all the work you have done and continue to do.
Thank you, Ryan, for having us.
All right, our pleasure. Well, there are several events happening today to commemorate Juneteenth. CBS 2 is down in the Homewood-Flossmoor area, where marching bands, floats, drill teams, and more are participating in a Juneteenth parade. It stepped off at 9 this morning from Sterling Avenue and Flossmoor Road. We spoke with one woman who laid out plain and simple why making Juneteenth a holiday matters so much.
This is really about African Americans becoming more aware of our history, and that's what's important.
And the DeSable Black History Museum is hosting a Juneteenth celebration. Guests can enjoy a full day of performances, food, shopping, and exhibits. It's free and open to everyone. This bus will be parked outside during today's event at the DeSable Museum. The 1949 GMC bus is the same model that Rosa Parks rode in Montgomery, Alabama, when she refused to give up her seat to a white man in 1955. You'll also be able to learn more about Parks' story and the ensuing bus boycott that sparked the civil rights movement. That starts at 10 o'clock this morning in just about 40 minutes.
Lots of ways to commemorate this important date.
So much history tied to it, and going back to the origins again, thinking of how long it took people to really find out fully that they were free. And then we could talk about that the years after that.
Right,
A momentous
right.
occasion to mark that.
Yep, yep.